Yeah, in this video I'll be doing the exam type problems. So exam uzothola nje into yabo emelaso yabo esimixing. Okay, first things first. Can you derive right away? No. Why? Lawyer deriving. It's term. But then we have a fourth root. So we should first remove the fourth root. So la is going to be x plus 3. We're going to bring it down. Then lana removing the fourth root, 3 over 4. We know what's exponent phakathi by numerator, bese lelapha ngaphandle by denominator. So la kuzoba 3 over 4. Sesiyisusile i-set form sayibhala in exponential form. Then we bring down 5p squared. La now we can derive. So must derive, we write dy dx. Must derive a law. It's like 1 multiplied by 1 over 3. So we know 1 over 3. Then lapha 1 minus 1 is 0. So we're going to have x raised by 0, which will just give us 1. Then plus 3 over 4 multiplied by 1. So it's going to be 3 over 4. Then we're going to have x. 3 over 4 minus 1. Let me punch this on my calculator. 3 over 4 minus 1, it's negative 1 over 4. So the answer it is over negative 1 over 4. Akekho x la. So u5p squared uyafana nokuthi constant. So must derive a constant kuba ubani kuba u0. Then sesiqedile. So ichaza ukuthi answer yethu la 1 over 3 multiplied by 1 it ubuya njengoba enjalo 1 over 3 level iphelela lana plus 0 kufana nokuthi into engekho. So the final answer yethu ubani 1 over 3 plus 3 over 4x raised by lokhuyana okuphezulu. No? Right. So let's bhalele example elandelayo la. So we know ukuthi kuze siderive kumele kube term. Right? Since kuno squared, should kumele senze njani? Open two brackets, multiply out. So we're going to bring down the dx because we only going to get rid of the dx after we have derived d. So now 2x raised by minus 1 minus root 5. Sivula ama brackets out 2x raised by minus 1 minus root 5. So is there a need to change root 5? Ngimenza 5 raised by 1 over 2? No need. Because we only remove a square root. If length esifuna ukuyiderive is under a square root, So in this case, we should derive x. X akekho ngaphansi kwe square root. So there is no need for us to remove any square root. So we can just leave root 5 as it is. So must multiply out law multiplied by law. So we're going to multiply the coefficient. 2 multiplied by 2 is 4. X raised by minus 1 multiplied by x raised by minus 1. We take one base because the bases are the same. Then we add the exponent. So minus 1 plus minus 1 kwenza minus 2. Law multiplied by loyana. So the coefficients lana it's 2 and then it's root over negative 2 root 5 times x raised by minus 1. Law times ln, it's negative 2 root 5 times x raised by minus 1. Negative root 5 times negative root 5. We know must multiply into number roots. Roots are cancelled. Because root 5 times root 5, it's like 5 squared under a square root. Who squared to cancel a root? How last one? Positive 5. Then now we cannot derive as in now because in our like terms. So we're just gonna add the like terms. 4x raised by minus 2 akukafana nakho. So bring it down. So lona so minus 4 root 5 x raised by minus 1. Then we have our plus 5. Then we can derive. Since I derive, we don't rewrite with dx. So must derive by law multiplied by law is going to be negative 8x minus 2 minus 1 going to minus 3. Minus 1 times the whole thing. So by positive 4 root 5 times x minus 1 is going to be minus 2. Positive 5 mustn't derive since we constant uzophenduka bani 0. Yeah, so I'm going to write 2 more examples, exam type. Okay, a few more examples now. Right, so first things first, money. So now we have like y equals to y equals to, so y equals to, but this is our number 3. All right, we cannot derive into we derive in a root. We cannot derive x and a pants. So the first step just gonna change, rearrange. So now we're gonna remove the cube root. See, by in exponential form, we know we have a 1 lapper shooting over 1 over 3 plus lana. We know what we have 1 phezulu. We cannot derive x engaphansi, so we're going to take x simuse phezulu, not 4x but x raised by 4. U4 uyasala, masithatha x ayiphezulu futhi kuzoba no x. Once we shift i-value or i-variable sayisa phezulu, exponent iyashintsha. Since it was positive 4, mayisiya numerator isizoba negative 4. Mayisinjena-ke we can derive, ne? Yeah, so mase derive again, we can just write ke manje dy dx must derive 1 over 3. 1 over 3 times 1 is 1 over 3. Then kusala x laphayana phezulu, and then soshala 1 over 3 minus 1 iphuma ba negative 2 over 3, so no minus 2 over 3. Sesingiderivile lo. Ne? Then my says derive abani negative 4 times 1 is over negative 4. X minus 4 minus 1 is over minus 5. My plans asekhona bani u4. So we can just simplify, but masekunjena kusuke sekuphelile, ne? Then lana it's gonna be minus 4 is okay for minus 1, x raised by minus 5. So you can even take the x almost with denominator, corners of an exponent negative at masekunjena, you get all your marks. Right, let's go to this one. So lana we cannot derive because we have a square root and because x lowest form deriver uyi denominator. Right? So into yokuqala kumele senze lana, remove the square root, so kuzoba x raised by 3 over 2. But we know what's in 2 lapha, so it's going to be 3 over 2. Right? Lana kubo 1 over 3. Yeah. So la it's going to be minus 5, x uyaphezulu kuzoba x raised by minus 1. La 1 over 2 pi uya njengoba injalo. So we have term. We don't have a square root. Okay, we don't have a root. And then x is from deriver akekho ku denominator. So now we're going to have dy dx equals to 3 over 2 multiplied by 1. 3 over 2, 7 x. 3 over 2 minus 1, I think it's 1 over 3. 3 over 2 minus 1 is 1 over 2. So last one, 1 over 2. Then minus 1 times minus 5, it's positive 5. X minus 1 is over minus 2. Then again, x la. So 1 over 2 pi is a constant. Masim deriver uphenduka bani? 0. Ne? Right, sesabuya ke ngizoderive lo. So ngithe if we have 2 terms at the denominator, lokho kusinikeza hint yokuthini we should factorize the top so that khona okuzoba phezulu okuzokhansela lokho okungaphansi. So siyabona phezulu we have a cubic. So if we can factorize the cubic, we know must factorize the cubic. Yokuthi ne bracket elincane bracket elikhulu, ku bracket elincane we're going to have yabo into squared la, yabo we're going to have x minus 1. Lana we're going to have x squared, then we're going to have 1 squared there, which is 1. Then low times lona kuzoba bani x. Since we have a minus, we should put plus. So we just factorize the numerator. Yeah, the way my factorizer and con. Then upon we have this x minus 1, we cancel x minus 1, then we have dx, then since the numerator pelo x squared plus x plus 1, then we can derive magic because we have term, we don't have anything on the denominator. So must derive out 2 times 1, it's 2, 2 minus 1 is 1, so 1 x is 1, 1 times 1 is 1, then 1 minus 1 is 0, x raised by 0 is 1, so 1 constant, maximum derive is over 0, so this will be our final answer. Yeah, thank you.